Hello and welcome back to another episode. I am sorry for my delinquency. I actually was quite ill for the last couple of weeks, so I wasn't able to take care of any business. I actually had to pull down my last video because some errors in editing led to some some dicey biscuit into the video. But that will be available soon, hopefully, now that I'm feeling better. I had oral thrush, which is a yeast infection in the mouth. So make all the jokes you want, but I'll have you know I was bedridden and in searing pain for a week. Couldn't eat for a week, lost about 15 pounds. But now I am here again to bring you a kale salad recipe. It's less about the kale and more about the dressing itself. It's a fantastic, just all-purpose dressing. Easy to do, and this video, I promise you, will be very brief. I know I said that before, and they usually go on for like 40 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever. I will keep this one brief. Um, I'm making a kale salad because kale's good for you, and people say they like kale. I don't believe those people. I mean, no one ever is like, oh, yeah, I really go for some fucking kale right now. That sounds delicious. Um, but also, so I haven't drinking in a couple weeks either, so alcohol tolerance is low, which is good. I've taken down a couple Caprinas. I'm drinking a nice English ale right now. And I'm going to show you how to make this all-purpose dressing, how to make a kale salad taste actually palatable. And then I'll talk about ways that you can kind of dress it up a little bit. But let's just get going. All right, so the first thing you're going to need is going to be about a half a shallot, a garlic clove. And I'm just kind of making this for one serving. I mean, if you have like a mason jar, or if you have like a jar of Dijon that's like almost empty, you can just throw all the ingredients in there, shake it up, keep it in the fridge for a week, and have a nice dressing for a week. But this is going to be like a champagne vinaigrette, which is one of my favorite dressings in the world. And so you're going to need a shallot, garlic. I always typically go with champagne vinaigrette, but for whatever reason, I went to a couple high-end grocery stores by me. I couldn't find any champagne vinaigrette, so I just went with Prosecco wine vinegar, which is fine. That's totally cool. I prefer champagne, but whatever. Still similar profile, but let's get to it. The first thing you're going to need to do is dice the shallot. And I got the big sexy out tonight because I have freshly sharpened all my knives, so they are sharp as shit. So hopefully you can see this all right. I'm just going to dice this up real quick. Just give it a once over. And we've got a pretty finely minced shallot. Not quite a brunoise, but we're getting there. Get your bench scraper into a bowl. And garlic, you know what? Garlic, it knows how good it is. So it's never a bad experience to humble garlic. So you want to take off that root end right there. And something else, take off this end too. And give it a quick little pop. And that skin will peel right off. Use the bench scraper, get rid of all that bullshit garlic skin that you don't want. And when you're cutting like alliums, garlic, whatever, that kind of shit that stinks up your cutting board, I always keep a equal part vinegar, white distilled vinegar, and water spray, just to spritz my board down and clean it off with a washcloth, just because that will prevent your board from stinking like onions or garlic or whatever you're cutting that smells that you don't want to stick on that board. But again, so back to the garlic. Garlic, it knows how good it is. So let's bring it down a few levels and just give it a gentle roughing. Then give that a shot too. And I know you're thinking a whole raw clove of garlic in a dressing might sound like it can be, a little pungent. So, but when you put the vinegar and lemon juice in with this dressing, it's really going to kind of take the raw edge and the pungency out of that garlic. So in the bowl we go. And this is a carbon steel knife, so, and it's not just because it's a carbon steel knife. When it's wet, it will rust. Any kitchen knife, when it's not being used, it should be cleaned and dried immediately. There should be no in between. A knife should either be in use or it should be clean in its position. So right here, we got our bowl, we got our garlic, we got our shallot, and we're going to add some Prosecco vinegar. And when you're making dressings, you kind of want to keep the ratio of vinegar to olive oil about a 1-3, 1-4 ratio. I'm just going to put in about that much. Might be a little much, but that's all right. We're going to put in Dijon because Dijon is an excellent emulsifier, meaning that it will bring the water from the vinegar and the olive oil together when you whisk it up. We're going to add a touch of honey. We're going to take a little cheek of lemon juice just because that's a nice little touch. Who doesn't like a little bit of lemon? And remember, don't forget to take a sip. Don't forget to drink while you're cooking because, like I've said before, it's easy to get lost when you're cooking. You got to make sure, remember to take a drink. So now we're going to hit it with some salt, kosher salt. It looks like a lot, but kosher salt is a lot bigger granules than your typical Morton iodized salt. And a good bunch of ground black pepper, fresh ground pepper. Don't ever use that pre-ground fucking pepper. That's a bunch of bullshit, and I will not stand for it. Treat yourself well. So, if you're really feeling frisky, you really want to kind of cream it up a little, you can add an egg yolk to that too. It's also a great emulsifier. But I'm not going to do that today. So let's just get this part mixed up for sure. And then we're going to stream in some olive oil. You want to start a little slow at first. Well, it doesn't really fucking matter. You're going to shake it up. Everything's going to be all right. But remember, the golden kind of ratio when you're making a dressing is, about 1 part acid to about 3 to 4 parts olive oil. And that acid is the vinegar, the lemon juice, whatever. So add a little more. Whisk it up nice and good. And you want to start out slow, but once you kind of get that emulsification built up, you can kind of add a little faster. So you see how this isn't a bunch of just broken, it's all together and nice. That's what you want. That's what you want right there. And then I let this hang out for a little bit. Kind of let that shallot and garlic mellow out a little bit. Take the raw edge and pungency off of it. Give it a little taste. Oh yeah. It's fucking perfect. If you're feeling a little saucy, get a little MSG to there too, which I kind of like to add to a little salad dressing just because MSG kind of just does beautiful things for most things. And if you got some fresh tarragon, some fresh thyme, that would also go well in here. Rosemary might be a little strong. So I kind of stick to tarragon, thyme, maybe some chervil. Chervil's always nice in a salad dressing. But see here, we got a nice cohesive salad dressing. So now let's address the fucking kale in the room. So kale and garlic need to be humbled for different reasons. Garlic needs to be humbled because of how good it knows it is. Kale needs to be humbled because it's a fucking pretentious ass superfood. Fun fact about kale, before people started eating it, really, Pizza Hut in its buffet heyday was like the biggest purchaser of kale like in the world by like a fucking long shot. And then once it became a superfood, everyone started pretending to like it, but really people just kind of, again, I just don't believe those people. Kale is just like not that great. You got to really dress up to make it taste good, but it is super fucking healthy for you. And I'm coming off a serious illness, so I've been eating a lot of kale salad lately. And last Sunday, I made a Sunday roast, a British style roast, and I had some leftover ribeyes. So there's some good ways you can dress it up. So what I did was, I did the kale salad. I threw in some blue cheese. I had some leftover ribeye I diced up and I crisped up. I had some avocado to it, which I might do today. I'm probably not going to eat this right now, so I might just kind of show you how to break down the kale, and then I'm probably just going to eat it later when I get hungry again. But so here's how we want to address the kale. So this big fucking fibrous stem is fucking disgusting and you want no part of it. So you kind of want, so here's like the, I don't know, this end of it. You want to turn that shit over. Turn it this way and you kind of want to just cut the leaves along that big fucking fibrous disgusting stem. And you kind of want to do it in one cut, so you want to stack it up like that. This kale was washed, by the way, too. But you see how easy that dressing was to do? And like, it's literally such a fucking good dressing, you wouldn't fucking believe it. It's incredible. I mean, you can pair it with just about, I mean, you can put that in any salad you want, and it's really going to make it incredible. Alright, I try to keep it in whole pieces, like this, because you kind of want to roll it up like you're rolling up a big old fatty. And you want to chop this up nice. Because no one likes a big fucking piece of kale in their mouth. People say they will, but again, they're full of shit. They're just trying to impress you with their fucking health food habits. Fucking posers. That's how I'm making a kale salad. I'm such a fucking hypocrite. And remember, don't forget to have a drink. I almost forgot for a second. Wrong tool for the job. Should have grabbed a bigger knife. But that's alright. And I'm going to put this into a separate bowl for now. Just because I'm not going to eat it right now. But you want these in small pieces. Because again, no one wants a big piece of kale in their mouth. So I'm going to throw it right in here. I'm just going to leave this in the fridge, and when I come home later or I get hungry later, I am simply just going to give the dressing a whisk. Either do that or do that, mix it up, and you got a beautiful salad. And there's a lot of ways you can kind of elevate this. You can add blue cheese would be a great addition. Bacon bits would be a great addition. Cherry tomatoes would be a great addition. Slivered pecans would be a great addition. Um, have fun with it. Just have a drink and start cooking, and things will come to you. But that's really all I got for you. I can probably chop this video down into 10 minutes, and that is the champagne vinaigrette. It's probably one of the best dressings in the world, right behind the Caesar, or maybe just the simple blue cheese wedge salad. And that's all I got for you. Short, quick, to the point. I'm healthy again. I'm back at it, and look forward to doing the next episode. Cheers.